Good day. It's time for the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. It's New Music Friday again. It was Friday a few minutes ago. It's Friday again. New Music Friday. Right here at the bar. My name is Sola Rogers.
And my name is Ola Dolupo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, right here, wherever you're listening to us from. It's a beautiful Friday again at the bar, like he had said earlier. And if you're joining us for the very first time, we bid you a warm welcome. This is where we give you everything: news, politics, entertainment, sports, and everything else in between.
Yes. And of course, if you're wondering, like, okay, New Music Friday, yeah, that's what I talked about, but she's added it to it. And sports, oh my God, the Super Eagles, something is happening to them. They want to go to the World Cup again. It's looking good, but there's a but.
But there's a but.
And according to one of my friends, go and get your calculators. Yeah, it's funny like that. There are other things.
It's actually tiring, really.
Tell me about
it. It really does get tiring. But anyway, so there are other things. There are a lot more. What's the word now? A lot more reactions from Mr. President's policies in recent days. So yes, we're definitely going to be breaking that down and getting a lot of reactions from different people, different organizations. Are they what they're saying? Some people are applauding it, some people are condemning it, some people have a few concerns. Are those concerns very valid? We'll definitely get to see it. The DSS and suspended CBN Governor Emefiele is in the news. There was one news that we heard after after the court judgment. There is another court judgment. We definitely will get also that. The courts have definitely been busy. One very busy court is a chief judge that is landed in hospital.
Yeah.
So we definitely will get all to that. Like he said, there's a bit of sports here and there. But before we get right into all that, it is New Music Friday indeed, and we're going right into the music.
Yes, the music. It's an exciting time during the course of the week. Okay, let me take it back a bit. It's the norm now for artists to release their music on Friday of every week.
Yeah.
But some songs get dropped before Friday. Those ones refuse to get the memo. It's okay, we won't leave them out. So any song that comes out during the course of this week, but especially on Friday, falls under the hashtag New Music Friday. And of course, before Dolupo starts to go through, at least a couple of days ago, Pato Rankin, I dropped a song titled Tonight, featuring Popcan.
Oh, you started with that. It's a beautiful song. I love it.
Oh my God.
I think it's my song of the week, though.
Already?
Yeah, I think it's my song of the week.
Let the songs breathe.
I like it.
Let the new songs breathe.
Oh, it's a Pato Rankin and Popcorn match made in heaven.
Okay.
Beautiful song.
Yeah, so that's why I just wanted to, because it actually came out ahead of most of these other songs. And yes, we said it all. We seem to be in agreement on this one, and she already has our own song of the week.
Oh yes, yeah, I think that's my song of the week. That's it. Also, Adekunle Gold decided to drop Ogaranya. It's this song is supposed to be on his upcoming album.
Now that's my song of the week. I like the video. I like the song.
Very colorful.
Very extremely colorful, very vibrant. Then the flashes of the old and the new. You know, I know what they were going for in that video, and I think they achieved it. There's something that everybody says these days, and we started saying it too. Adekunle Gold is who he thinks he is.
Yeah.
You know, and there's one thing I want to point out about Adekunle Gold. I noticed him at one of his concert in London, where he was reeling out some affirmations. And I noticed that he does a lot of that. So listen to this song and listen to one or two lines. They are actually affirmations. You know, when people say those things and they believe them, they actually come to pass. So go and listen to Ogaranya by Adekunle Gold. And everybody's doing an Ogaranya song now. There've been a couple of other Ogaranyas, trust me. If you Google Ogaranya now, there'll be at least 4 people with a song like that.
Anyway, so very
like
interesting song. Very interesting pick of the week. Also, Oxlade and Dave decided to give us Intoxicated.
Nice song. You know Dave
Wait,
now.
Dave? No, I don't actually. Dave is the rapper, yeah?
He's the guy that was on that Bonner song now. So you get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's adding up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's based in the UK or something.
I think that. No, shout out to Oxlade. Very nice song. But the addition of Dave just added something to that song. I think it was a very, very nice addition. Beautiful collaboration. I think, it was well thought out and it was well executed. Very, very, very nice song. Also, Barge decided to give us "Can't Be Stopped."
Yeah, it's a continuation of that Bagada Express series that he has done. I think the deluxe album should be out any moment from now. You know, smart move by artists these days to kind of like rejig their recent body of work by adding a couple of new songs or remixes. And then repackaging the album and putting it out. It's not a new thing. Artists have been doing it like since the time.
Looks like it's now Nigerian. We finally cut the ball.
Oh yeah, trust me. Yeah. And we've had some amazing albums come out. Remember Whiskey did the deluxe, Omale.
Oh yeah, CK.
Yeah. So that's what it is, and it's still New Music Friday right here on your Boom Radio NG. We are talking, and Bodge. I like the song. I actually do like the song. I like him. I like how Bodge has been able to stay on top of the game, stay, there. It's a difficult industry now because every minute there's talent coming through. And apart from talent, there are other things that might hold you back. Yeah. A big shout out to Bodge.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing. Caveman decided to release 2 songs today. Open Your Mind and Savior.
Let me start with Savior.
Yeah, I think in the 2, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I like both songs, but she likes Savior more. I like both. Now, the Nigerian artists from the 60s and the 70s would be extremely proud of the Cavemen, what they are trying to do. You get, and it's working. It's working. These guys have brought highlife music to their own generation. They've been able to, and they are still pushing, the plate. They're still pushing the boundaries, pushing it like, let's go deeper. And they are. They're going across, and I'm loving everything that these amazing artists are doing. A big shout out to Caveman. Savior is fully highlife. And the other one, Open Your Mind.
Yeah, they're actually...
I guess
songs, but
you should open your mind.
Yeah, but they're actually really nice songs that you cannot take away. Also, Rexy.
Rexy.
Yeah, Rexy. Mobile. Hot Kid featuring CDQ. I don't know how they choose those things, but anyway.
Rexy is now the master of collabos in the sense that he knows how to pick different people.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And so this one is Kazo. Or Gazo. Really, if you do not listen to the song, you probably might not. In fact, a part of me, I listened to the song like twice, and all I heard was Kaso, and I'm like, okay, where is the G in this? Like, all I kept hearing was Kaso. Like, okay, it's by Air Peribi. But anyway, they said the name of the song is Gazo. Maybe it's the way they say it that makes it sound like Kaso.
Yeah.
But so yes, we've not heard CDQ in a bit.
No, we have actually.
Nice.
We have. CDQ keeps dropping stuff. And every time you say this, take your time.
I've not heard a lot of things of CDQ.
Take your time.
Or maybe he has just not blown. A lot of things that he has dropped has not just really... Like, it's CDQ now. It is CDQ.
After the show, we'll check something, you will see.
Anyway, Jimmy Abdul's also has Sarafina.
Yeah. Sadly, I've not gotten to listen to
Sarafina.
Yeah,
I know. It's nice. It's actually a very nice, slow song. Very, very nice. Another song that I think got me a little in my feelings is Sal Sultan and Sparrow, Money Race. That song, what do we call it? Afrobeat.
Yeah. It's not Afrobeat.
It's not Afrobeat. It's the proper Afrobeat song. It was a nice breath of fresh air, really. And shout out to I think it was ID Kabasa that was the producer. Mm-hmm. Oh my God!
They put his stamp on it.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautifully made. The other than the singing, Spyro did amazingly well. Of course, Sound Sultan, but the production of that song, beautiful. A lot of times we get to hear a lot of Afro beats these days, but Afrobeat, it was beautifully made. It was beautifully made.
Sound Sultan, we miss you. Sound Sultan is arguably one of the most talented artists that ever came out of Nigeria.
Yeah, versatile.
His ability to,
Switch.
fit into any genre, switch, versatility is his thing, is his hallmark.
Yeah.
And you see him now, he's holding it down with Johnny Drill one moment, the next moment is Spyro, he's holding it down with Wheezy, and he leaves that one and he's blending with Two-Face. That's the kind of artist that we miss. It's South Sultan, and it's actually Money Race is a good song. Please go check it out.
It is
on all streaming platforms. It's a good song.
It definitely is.
Comes highly recommended.
So is there any other? Actually, to be honest, these are the songs that I have listened to today. I've not listened to any other one. But definitely all these songs and a lot more.
I think I listened to more, but
oh, okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, but you're not running through, so it's fine. It's fine. Let's go. Let's move on.
So as time goes on, you would definitely listen to all these songs on Boom Radio by 5 p.m. today, tomorrow, and Sunday by New Music Niger. So we'll definitely be playing all these songs for you.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Now, see, before we leave entertainment, there's one of the stories that has really been, in fact, it's been trending number one on Twitter and all that, is the drama that happened in LASU yesterday. That's the Lagos State University. And the background is that Pokoli, the very popular dancer, celebrity dancer, who is an alumnus of that school, decided to do a homecoming concert on the school grounds. And it turned out to be violent.
Yeah, there was
some slapping.
There were issues here. There obviously videos of Bella Shmoda, who was also an alumni of the school, being assaulted. Of course, we saw him being whisked away by security. And there's a video of Odumodu jogging, to safety, we assume. Because the video could have been him jogging to the show. But there was a part where someone spoke something Yoruba, you better run. Like, I heard the guy say that clearly. Oh, wow. Yeah, in the video, you better run and all of that. So, there have been different stories. The school authorities just put out a tweet a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, they did. They're saying that the report of cult attacks are nothing but lies.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they're not right. I'm just saying that there are times that and it's not even just LASU now, it's generally, this happens even in government, where we're supposed to look for issues and deal with things and nip in the bud. At times we live in denial. I'm not saying it is, but what I'm saying is that they should not be too quick to dismiss that angle. It might be easier to be able to get these people. It might be, it might not be. There might be maybe one in a 10% chance that it is, or a 5% or a 2% chance. I'm just saying that at times when people come out to easily defend things, there is more that meets the eye than it.
Yeah.
Personally.
So there are different angles, like Dolupo has said, and maybe the school was really trying to protect their image, because the major story out there that, like they mentioned in their own statement, is that it had nothing to do with cultism.
Yeah, they're talking about it was the number of people that had bought tickets, that tickets were supposed to be bought on ground, but that the people that came to buy tickets were more than the tickets that were available.
Yeah, they say that tickets were bought online.
They were bought on...
Tickets were bought online, and that people were supposed to come pick up the physical tickets so they could gain access.
That didn't even make any sense, though.
But what they're saying, because I need to help them put it out first, is that they must have sold more than the capacity of the hall online. So when people got there, to get their tickets was rowdy, to gain access into the hall was also very rowdy. So There are issues with crowd management, but that their own school security people were on top of their game and they were able to quell the issues. Now, excuse me, there are videos of two guys punching, like heavily beating some people who were in front, like there's a short video, so it keeps repeating itself over and over again. There are other videos of, violence. Violence actually erupted. I'm glad that it didn't escalate to the point where lives were lost or casualties or some kind of injuries were announced or reported. However, the school authorities have done what you expect an organization to do, try to nip the stories in the bud. But the truth, just like Dolupo was talking about, is that it might not be exactly as they've said it because there are other people saying things. But if you've ever been involved in organizing shows in a Nigerian university, I don't know if things have really changed that much. It is hard to organize a show without reaching out to some people. There are different interest groups that you might want to carry along because, trust me, if you don't, they might be the ones to disrupt your show, regardless of who you think you are and where you think you're coming from. That's one. So you notice that people who are organizing shows try to carry everybody along, especially they go through the school student union group, but there are other groups that they want to reach out to. At times you even have those other groups provide security. Then again, you also don't want to be seen as leaning towards one group or the other. So I get where Lasso is coming from, saying there's no cultism and all of that, but I am not sure that any university can boldly claim that there's no form of cultism on their campus. That's
my own. You don't know. You might not be totally. Of course, those things are hidden and all that, but I think it's a very, very quick.
Bike men and secondary school children are members of cults now in Nigeria. So you're in a university and you're the one that you're so on top of your game.
You're so on top of your game.
That there's no cultism on your campus. Okay.
Anyway, Shad, but Shad said what they've said.
But my own take is that a big shout out to Pokoli for going back, to Lasso. A big shout out to him for trying to do something in the area of entertainment for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they can rectify this, because if they don't, there's a statement that is credited to him about how future shows might not even hold there. And that's how these things happen for years. And you just see that.
But can you actually blame people? Take, for example, Bella Shmurda was actually assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, you not tell him to go to the same Lasso. He's not going nowhere. Let's call it what it is. He would not. So
would you?
Would you? Exactly. Yeah. So I think that the school authority and generally I those shows, anyway, when it comes to schools and all those things need to actually be very, very careful. There needs to be a lot of security. Unfortunately, there's also a level of security that is not allowed inside the school premises. So it's a very interesting, situation. But thankfully, nobody actually got injured. Before we leave the issue of entertainment, there's Guinness World Records have finally said something about Nigerian applications, or more like Nigerians. They have now said that they've received about 1,500 applications from Nigerians in 2 months. Are you not ashamed of yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely ashamed. I know that I was having a conversation with a friend of mine when Chef Dami lady came up and she was, and I was like, I was really for the fact that people need to express themselves, and it is okay for you to get inspired by someone else and go with your guts and do whatever it is you want to do. Now, the issue with it is that the problem was that for the Chef Dami lady, because it's what I said, I was like that most of the time people learn the hard way, that that for someone like Hilda Bassi to get what she got, it definitely took a lot. It took months upon months to get to the part where she got. You actually cannot just wake up one day because someone gave you an inspiration to do something. Does not mean you have to do it a week or two after. You actually have to getting an inspiration from someone. What happened to reaching out to the older Basi yourself, asking, okay, how did you do these things? How does it work? But now, the minute Hilda Basi did it, everybody wants to break one record or another. I don't know if what world a lot of Nigerians grew up in. Because I grew up knowing the Guinness World, in fact, it was Guinness Book of Records where it was a thing in my house growing up every year. It came in purple, shiny cover, and it's not a new thing. It literally isn't a new thing. So it actually shocks me when I see that suddenly everybody is talking about this. I'm like, this thing has been on for years. I'm sure the Guinness World Records organization is probably older than someone like me or something.
Yeah. So I remember when Kafi, the dancer, attempted and actually broke the world dancing record. She had an entire team with her. It was broadcast. It was serious planning and everything. And I think that was the most, reported or the most talked about attempt at the record by a Nigerian in Nigeria over a long period.
Yeah.
There have been other people. There's a young man who's gotten about 3 or 4 Guinness Book of Records certificates.
Yeah.
There's a guy in Akure. There's a young man in the East.
Yeah.
Who is not even a mechanic, and all of that. So they have done it, and they have those records to prove. But Hilda Basi must be given kudos. She did the work. She had a massive team behind her. She had proper planning, and she created a brand out of it. So a big shout out to her for doing it right. Now that has inspired people. We get it. But you see, we like copycatism.
We're good.
We like it,
good,
and we know
good.
how to overdo things.
We don't know when to stop. We literally don't know when to stop.
There's a comedian from Cameroon, something crier guy. He likes to cry when he's cracking his jokes and everything. That guy has been poking fun at Nigerians. He did, a skit where he was crying. And, some people actually thought
it was
funny. Nigerian blogs started reporting it like it's a real story because they will never research. And that is how disgraceful
as in
you people have been.
Laughing, they turned the whole thing to laughing.
The guy from Cameroon is laughing at us.
Are you kidding?
I watched a couple of his videos.
Shout out
Nigerians.
Shout out to Cameroonians, but Cameroonian is laughing at Nigerians.
Just
Are
imagine.
you joking? Like seriously.
Imagine.
You people have no respect.
It's you people that caused it. And that's why last week we talked about it. 2 weeks ago we also talked about it that we have our Guinness World Record watch. It's a weekly watch now. And now they're telling you that you have overdone it.
You have overdone it. Like, let's drop it. Let's drop it. It's enough. Thank you very much.
Something turn and that turn. In fact, this one, Guinness Book of Record, this message is for you. I don't know which one is my camera now. Is this one right?
This one.
Guinness Book of Record. With the amount of applications that you have received from Nigeria, give us record. That is a record.
It's a record.
That one is the record. The country with the most Guinness Book of Record applications over a short period.
It's a record. Very important.
I think we deserve a record.
I just think it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Anyway, moving on from that quickly. Still talking about if there's one thing that Nigerians know how to do is food. And now, Dolupo Balogun has now come out to say that Nigerian puff actually saved her from hunger.
Yeah, Malala Yousafzai. I think she was speaking to, was it Maokwe or someone?
Yeah, Channel TV, yeah.
And you see, let me start by saying, on behalf of puff lovers, that we told you people that puff was
the funny thing is that as much as I don't eat puff, I think that, don't get me wrong, I think that,
it's puff.
Wait, I think that there's some foods that people make a lot of noise about that is overrated.
And puff is one of them.
Dodo is one of them.
All those things that you don't like are one of them.
No, I think
Contrarian par excellence.
No, I think plantains are one of them. I don't have a problem with plantains. I just think it's overrated, the way everybody goes on about it.
That's what she said.
I do not eat puff. Personal
puff.
preference. Puff.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think puff is overrated.
You don't think it's overrated?
No. I think is
Dolupo has been hacked.
No.
I can't believe you are supporting.
Like I said, there are a lot of things. The way we go about party jollof, I eat party jollof. It's the same way I eat plantain and all those things, but I think they're overrated. But I think that as much as I don't even eat puff puff,
I'm in shock.
I don't think that puff puff is overrated.
This is me thinking that I was going to come and school somebody about puff puff.
No, I think it's a completely different snack. In fact, I've been seeing some videos and pictures of this particular store that suddenly started selling puff puff with
in America.
Milk. No, in Lagos.
Oh, there's this one that
with,
they're doing, and they're putting all sorts of condiments and things on it.
Oreos and all sorts of things on it. And as much as I don't eat it, I was like, no, that's not puff puff.
See.
Puff puff is puff puff. Leave it like that. The best they can do is sprinkle sugar on it. That's it.
I'm what you can call a food Puritan. Like, I believe that you want to cook what you people call black-eyed peas, beans, ewa, in my language. Don't cook it with too many things that will take away the flavor of the beans. You understand? Let it bring out its own flavor. It's the same way puff puff should not be over-accessorized.
I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be.
Fry the puff
puff and leave it like that.
And like once in a while, people that like to sprinkle sugar, sprinkle your sugar.
Pure, very, very hot. I like the idea of, as in, I honestly don't eat it.
In fact,
I don't like it because I don't see why I'm eating flour that
puff
does not
puff
have
lovers
protein.
are supposed to sue.
I don't see the reason why we should desecrate some things.
I can actually lead a protest for puff puff lovers, because puff puff used to be like this big before, and suddenly they started making it tiny balls. It's small chops. If that's the matter, give us big chops. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Give us big chops.
Puff puff used to be big.
Yes.
It used to be a big ball. Oh, very fluffy and big. That's true. That's actually true.
My mother was like number one puff puff maker in the universe. She had a store at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and every day they would come pick it up in large batches.
This puff puff that you're saying,
puff and moi moi.
There's this puff puff man inside Felele in Ibadan. Anybody that knows puff puff, the man was Ghanaian or something.
Mm-hmm.
Old man. My mother would leave our house to go and buy puff puff from it's called Ongbono puff puff. The man is always fresh, hot. The distance, if you know the distance of our house then to this Felele place. In fact, my mother used to go and greet. We used to have a family friend. It was the guys of going to buy puff puff. Yeah. That we used to go and greet those people a lot.
But you see, there's no distance too much to go for puff puff.
But I personally think it's not overrated.
And at some point, it was a massive industry in Nigeria, especially in Lagos. Just like she talked about the guy in Felele, it was at every street junction. The same way we used to have scary, what they call dundu, akara, and dundu, akara, and there's one more thing, dodo. You know, and people will make it with sauce and all of that. Some will fry fish. Then later, for more joint.
But I think that is okay with the way she said Nigerian puff puff.
A big shout out to Malala.
More like, I think it's only puff puff is a Nigerian food. I think anybody else is a counterfeit.
Yes, respect the real puff puff lovers and makers and creators.
Yeah. Anyway, quickly before we leave all that, Big Brother Naija, for people that are huge lovers of Big Brother Naija, Season 8 has unveiled that there's going to be an all-star edition. So I'm guessing that was why there was no audition announcement.
Yeah, it's a smart move.
It's an all-star. Personally, I don't think this last one that they did with South Africa, I don't think it was a hit.
Yeah, well, was the first of its kind. Nigeria and South Africa in the same house. I don't even know who won, to be honest.
The buzz. I think I remember. I think it was South African that won it.
Yeah, I don't know who won.
The buzz we get around Big Brother Naija. I remember that it was always Big Brother Africa, but then the first Big Brother Naija, and then it looks like Big Brother Naija became a thing officially. Yeah. And this last one was not. Maybe in Nigeria, it could have been really big in South Africa. I don't know, but Nigeria was not. The buzz wasn't as much. So I think it's a very good move for them. They've done
the All-Star thing before. It was the African one, and doing the All-Star for Nigeria is a smart move because it brings together different generations or different categories of Big Brother housemates.
Yeah, that people have seen before.
And
So people are familiar with
they're already established and they already have their fan base.
Yeah.
Or their fan bases, as the case may be.
So
it's a smart move. And again, they
move.
don't even need to spend money on all those their auditions going from city
That's
to
what I'm
city and
saying, that they don't have auditions
in all
and
of this,
that.
it's a smart move
Definitely makes sense.
by multi-choice.
Yeah,
and,
so now
DSTV.
there is a 120 million cash prize on that. It's supposed to start later this month. Yeah, about July 23rd.
Yeah, we will try to bring updates. We will try. Sadly, there are two people in the studio who used to be Big Brother people like 1 million years ago.
It just don't,
But
you know.
I don't know.
I think I just drifted off that. But like he said, I will actually
We'll try.
try. See, even if I don't try, I have a friend that is a huge, so I might getting updates.
We need to be bringing her on live.
I'm telling
maybe
you,
for
yeah.
a 2 or 3 minute
To
Big
be-
Brother update thingy.
Update, yeah.
We should do that.
We should actually talk about it. Yeah, so that might actually be coming very soon. Anyway, quickly, let's move on from that and let's do a little bit of football. Like he had talked about Nigeria, and the World Cup qualifier draws are definitely out, and Super Eagles is grouped with a few people. More basically, other than Benin Republic, I think everybody else is from South Africa. So we're dancing with South Africans this time.
Southern Africa.
Yeah. There's South Africa themselves, there's Rwanda, there's Lesotho, and Zimbabwe, and Benin Republic. Interesting how Benin Republic, that their meeting is coached by Nigeria's former coach.
Yeah. Which is a dangerous thing.
Very interesting. I honestly think I do not understand why Nigeria still do not have a proper coach.
Well, hopefully the guy that they brought will not get his contract renewed.
Hopefully.
We said it
really
when they
hope
brought
so.
him.
I
I'm
really
glad
hope so.
if you go back anywhere, I spoke on different platforms, even here at the bar, how I don't think it was the right fit
Because I think
for
it's
Nigeria.
just shameful that Nigeria will not get to the World Cup again this time. I think it will be really shameful.
So I'm glad that they would most likely not renew
Hopefully.
him and the coach of the Super Falcons, who are out there, in Australia and New Zealand getting ready for the Women's World Cup. These men do not deserve to be coaching Nigerian teams. I would rather pick a Nigerian coach, than pick people like the guy that's coaching the Super Falcons. Never coached a national team before, or not to talk of Super Falcons. Then you bring him because of what exactly? And now he's disgracing them.
Yeah, he's going on and talking all sorts of things.
Because he knows that he's not coming back, and he has already achieved what he wanted to achieve. By coaching the Super Falcons.
I totally agree on that.
So that's that. Now let's talk about the Super Eagles and their group. It's a very good group for a team that is serious.
Yes, I think it will be easy for them to qualify if they're serious, like you said.
Yeah. If you decide that you're not going to drop points, if you decide that you're going to be serious about it, it's a very good group for us. Now, our brothers, because Benin Republic is definitely, affiliated to us. Our brothers live
More
there.
like a
37th we're separated by a line that was drawn by
37th or 38th state. Which one of them? Okay, they are 37. I mean,
Yes.
Niger Republic is 38.
Yeah, Benin is 37, Niger is 38, and of course some parts of Togo should be part of us, but it's all right. Let's leave it like that. It's not that because we're annexing, guys. We just love you guys now because we know we are brothers and sisters there. Because this can be taken out of context.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're all individual countries and they are sovereign countries. So now let's get back to football. Benin Republic should not be underrated. So as South Africa also.
Yes, I think so.
Remember that South Africa and Nigeria did not go to the last World Cup. South Africa missed out because Ghana definitely cheated them. Go and check what happened there. I'm not going to say more than that.
So now my question
Nigeria lost to the same Ghanaian team.
So how many teams are going on this?
The way it's structured now, you win your group, you go to World Cup.
So there's
because
only
so only one team is going through.
One out of these 5.
Yes.
Oh wow.
That expanded World Cup.
Oh, so definitely Nigeria has a lot to definitely.
So we cannot afford to drop points, or play around at all, and we cannot look down on any of these teams. So don't even go and start thinking, oh, it's Lesotho. Hey, don't play around with anybody.
Don't play around with anybody.
There's no small team in
agree.
Africa anymore.
I totally agree. Quickly, before we leave all that, I forgot I was going to talk about this. And I saw a video. I hope it's a skit that he's making anyway. He's into skits. Where a particular skit maker, Kata Efe, was going off on the headies that his song, very popular song, That You Cannot Take Away. The song was actually viral. Machala, it was not... what's the word?
It wasn't nominated
for any award. And that he was given the headies 24 hours for them to revise that list.
Or what will happen?
I don't know. I'm wondering.
Okay, again, you said he was probably a skit, but
yeah,
I've noticed one thing about Kata Efe. He tends to shout a lot and make a lot of noise.
That's why I'm like that.
And
I'm guessing it's a skit.
At times, they come back and tell you that, there was an organized arrangement. Remember that is co-star on that song, Berry Tiga.
They fought themselves.
Then they later said it wasn't the real fight and all of that. Okay, it's fine. We'll take that. Now, was Machala a big song? Oh my God, it was. Very big song, yeah? But, you see, the owners of the awards reserve every right to choose
do whatever it is they want
whatever
to do.
song that makes their short
Exactly.
list. They have explained over and over again how their list is made and what they get to, So if they don't recognize you, move on with your career and your life. Don't think that you can actually bamboozle or force anybody to nominate
to do
you.
whatever it is they want
You
to
see,
do.
that's the beauty of awards, Everybody claims that they don't want an award. But everybody celebrates it when they get it.
It's very interesting for even the brother boys of this one. Remember, there was so much noise about not getting nominated for the headies and how they're not what's it called. But then you come back and you see something like you're getting paid if you don't get nominated for it. Anyway, whatever it is.
What should other people? The other people, Lade also had a massive song. Out to NASCAR.
Yeah, but the timing
it's around the same time now.
But it never got nominated.
There's several people.
The Almighty Whiskey did not get nominated.
They didn't nominate his album at all. Brimo's album didn't get nominated.
So what do you want them to do?
They have several artists that their albums
and
didn't get nominated.
And the truth is that they can't nominate everybody. So there's some people that will get nominated and people will not get nominated. Let's call it what it is. But
I mean, Kata Efe, man.
Just moving on. Now, good news for Wema Bank customers.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put it out there. Please.
Shout out to Wema Bank.
Everybody else, all you other banks, please, can you copy these people? I'm begging at this point. Because right now, why am I thanking Wema Bank? Wema Bank has now announced the lifting of suspension of international transactions on naira cards. I'm hoping this is a thing that other banks have just not announced, but the CBN has lifted it off everybody else. I'm really hoping that's what it is. I was still having a conversation with someone a few days ago how, all my cloud is not working. You can't listen to music anymore. Now that we have phones that we don't have gallery or music folders anymore. Everything is now online. And then the online, we cannot even access it anymore. It's really bad. But anyway, shout out to all of you that are using Wema Bank. Your own has started working. We hope that I want to start work soon enough. Anyway, let's move on from that quickly. And now, I think it's okay if we descend on the issue of President Tinubu and his different declarations that he has made. Now, from the most recent of them is the him declaring a state of emergency and unveiling a comprehensive intervention plan on food security. So there were some bullet points that the president had put out yesterday. He put out it was talking about food security. We know the prices of food generally, inflation is not doing a lot. The fuel subsidy removal also added majorly to that. So now let me just reel out a few of the key points on the intervention plan that the federal government has. They're saying that there's an immediate release of fertilizers and grains to farmers and households, a synergy between the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Water Resources for irrigation and all year round farming. If there's nothing else in this life, all year round farming on everything, even up until fruits, it would be amazing, really. Creation of National Commodity Board for price assessment and management of strategic food reserve, increased security measures for farms and farmers, central bank's role in funding agricultural value chain to be enhanced. I think central bank has done a lot in the last couple of years that we cannot argue with. Activation, this is one thing a lot of people are talking about, activation of 500,000 hectares of land for farming and river basins for continuous farming. This is one thing a lot of people are talking about, how is the president going to give... I was seeing a headline where, why is the president giving farmers 500,000 hectares? And the truth is that, I don't know how they're going to do it, but at that point, is it even enough?
Of course not.
Deployment of concessionary capital funding to the agricultural sector, improvement of transportation and storage facilities for agricultural products, very, very important. Increase of revenue from food and agricultural exports, improve facilitation of trade by working with the Nigerian customs, massive boost in employment and job creation, commitment to ensuring every Nigerian has access to affordable food. See, that's the bottom line. As long as everybody has access to affordable food. Once there's affordable food, every other thing is extra.
Now, I must say a big shout out to a lot of our presidents from the past who have looked at the importance of agriculture. You get from President, I'm talking about civilian presidents, from President Obasanjo to President Yar'Adua to President Goodluck Jonathan to President Muhammadu Buhari and now President Bola Tinubu. But I think for the first time, I'm actually seeing a more detailed and more robust plan.
Yeah.
You know?
More like there's more information. Somebody's telling us something.
Yeah. That's the detail, you know? Now, it is easy to criticize everything that you hear and dislike and disregard everything as you see it. But at times, it's also okay to look at the merits and the demerits of everything. That helps us, you know, have a focus and know where we're going. If they can carry out up to 80 or 90% of these things that Dolupo has reeled out, I think we're going to make a turn for the better.
Yeah, I agree.
I see Nigeria moving forward, you know, because making food available, food security is a massive thing. And it's one of the most important things that any government can do for its people.
Citizens, yeah.
Now, there are lands that the federal government, of course, has access to that they will be able to maybe cede to farmers.
Yeah.
You know, work out an arrangement. What is important also is we know that a lot of farmers always complain about the high cost of fertilizers or the availability or non-availability of fertilizers. So if they make it available, that will boost
That would
sales.
also help.
But you see, we forget the agrarian part of Nigeria where they are subject to the seasons.
Yeah.
You get, and they are limited by the seasons. Other parts of the world might have 4 or 5 seasons or 3 or 2. Nigeria has dry and
wet season.
That's it. And at times, like for now, the rains have not been as regular as they should. And when they start, they become too much. One of the things that we need is all year-round farming.
Year-round farming.
So not everybody can afford the greenhouses or to get those, you know, industrial irrigation equipment. So if the Ministry of Water Resources gets involved beyond providing water, now they get to provide for the general populace. Now they're talking about providing water for farmers all year round. It becomes a
better thing.
You know.
Also, just wanted to add this. Professor Christine Ikpeme, who is professor of food and science technology at the University of Calabar, has said that she's hoping that the federal government will give this land to actual and not political farmers.
Amen.
That's a very, very valid point. Very valid.
Amen. Those are the things that we need to be pointing out because, again, if you politicize everything, you hardly would ever get results.
Yeah.
And it would be nice for, like, the universities of Agric And the faculties of
Agric
in different schools to also get involved.
Yes.
From the area of
they are even more what's the
practicalizing.
word? They're more advanced. They're better suited for a lot of things. There's more research. What a regular would I say uneducated or not very educated farmer does not know about the soil. They know more about soil profiles, how plants work better and all that, how they can use their education to actually make these things better. Yes, I think that they need to do a lot in that angle.
Regard, yeah.
Yes. So I think that makes sense. But before we leave President Tinubu, there's a lot of reactions that is trailing the $800 million loan from the World Bank, the 500 billion naira palliative money, the 8,000 naira palliative that are given to 12 million Nigerians. And there are a lot of people that are saying different things. Now, let's start from the 500 billion naira palliatives that they're supposed to share with different states. And now, I just found out today that I thought the 8,000 naira was coming from this money. But it looks like it's coming from the World Bank money.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact that this one is coming from the 2022 appropriation bill, basically 2022 budget. That's where they're supposed to get this 500 billion naira from. And I've not personally seen a breakdown, but according to the Kano State Governor, he has now said, said a lot of things against the distribution of the federal government's allocation of these things. Now they're talking about this 500 billion naira is set to support small-scale industries across the country's geopolitical zones. Yeah, he has said that he doesn't like the way it was divided, that Lagos State alone was receiving 47% of this allocation. Now, it's also saying that the South-South zone is getting 17%, whereby other regions are receiving significantly low percentages. Of course, if out of 6 regions, one region has 47%, another has 17% of it, that already is telling us that's about 50, that is saying about 64% of 100%. So 4 other regions are supposed to share about 36% of this money. So it kind of is, but my own issue with it is that if really and truly this money is meant for industries, how many industries are in the Southwest or even in Lagos? Let's even say Southwest and Lagos and the Southwest as a whole. How many industries are in the Southwest? How many industries are in the South-South compared to the North?
Let me help you.
Or compared to the Southeast?
Let me help you restructure your question and say, are there any states in Nigeria that has more industries or requires this more than Lagos State?
Maybe not.
Because we all know that if we go by land mass, Lagos is most likely the smallest state.
It is the smallest state in Nigeria, yeah.
But if we go by population,
it is the largest.
Jesus.
It is the economic capital of Nigeria.
Till
in
tomorrow.
fact, some people will say it's probably the economic capital of some parts of Africa. So they say that Lagos State is the 5th largest economy in Africa, and this has nothing to do with it being a country, it being in Nigeria. Nigeria's economy is separate from Lagos's economy. That's how big it is.
So again, I get the angle that the governor of Kano is coming from. His complaints are actually valid.
But maybe it's more political.
We need to remove politics from governance. Yeah. Do you know how many people from your own state that will benefit from this same
in Lagos?
In Lagos.
Yeah.
These are the things that we should be honest about. If regular census is taken of the influx of Nigerians and even non-Nigerians into Lagos, some governors they need to be sharing their resources with the Lagos State government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a whole lot of your people have left and they're in Lagos. And it's not a crime. They are in their country. They have a right to live anywhere they want to live.
Yeah, but if we divide it across board, then they don't get a lot.
Yeah, so when they say they're going to get X amount, you cannot compare. You can't.
I agree.
You really can't.
I think sadly, for some places like the north, especially the northwest and most especially the northeast, and now the southeast, the insurgency that we saw a lot in those places over the years obviously did not help.
Yeah, people have moved.
People moving. The companies,
to Lagos.
A lot of companies moving out of those places. You really can't blame them. So if those things are not there, okay, so what do you want to use that money for if there are no companies that they're going to finance those things with? So, yeah, maybe we really should just look at the things. Anyway, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has now hailed the president over the subsidy palliatives that he has been talking about. Now, where if we move on from that, a former senator is telling Nigerians to pray before they collect the president's 8,000 naira.
Is it the president's money? To avoid what now?
Extreme poverty. He's saying that people that collected former President Buhari's 10,000 naira stipend, that those people ended up becoming poorer than they were before. I don't know where he got his stats.
Maybe he has the stats.
But
maybe he
that
does.
was I don't get where that's coming from. But
so there's a national social register that has about 15 million or so Nigerians captured on it, who fall into that category of the poorest of the poor, who are the target of this loan or grant from the World Bank. And they were the same ones who fall into the category that the former senator, I know that a senator is a senator, but I would like to call him a former senator. You know, is actually poking and throwing fibs and jives at. I think at times we get so caught up in our own cocoon that we forget that, you know, the world does not revolve around us. You know, I like I said, we said it yesterday, we're going to say it again. 8K is not a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not.
But to some people, it is everything. To some people, it will basically ease off their pressure. Again, when we said that it was palliative, and, you know, Dolupo yesterday, you're like, I said no. So I started seeing a lot of comments. Some people are saying, no, it's not sustainable. It's not meant to be sustainable. It's for a period of 6 months. You know, so over that period, other plans would have been rolled out. Other things would have been put in place. Hopefully. Then you will understand why, you know, palliatives were given. I also heard that even the medium and small scale, you know, enterprises, like I was asking for yesterday, are also going to be captured.
Yeah.
In another batch and all of that, you know. So this is something that I think that requires a lot of monitoring and transparency. If I am the president, whoever is going to be in charge of disbursement must be held accountable every step of the way. Let Nigerians actually see how this thing is happening and how it's being done.
Okay, so somebody's calculation is not right here.
Yeah.
As Frank Shuaibu, the special assistant on public communications to the presidential, the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, has said that Tinubu's plan is a brazen attempt to divert public funds.
Okay.
Basically, he was calculating that it means 53 naira per day. But I think that what he was dividing was 8,000 for 6 months. It is 8,000 per month for 6 months. I think we should be calming down some of our calculations. But anyway, it's his opinion. He's saying that it's to divert funds and it is a way to buy votes. But are we still voting?
Well, you know, at times when politicians talk, you know that they're full of, but you don't want to say it exactly the way it is. And I think this is one of those funny statements. But again, what do you expect? Is he supposed to just come out and comment something?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you.
They need to earn their upkeep and keep their job going by also criticizing.
Yeah, I think that is okay for people to criticize. I think that at this point we are now, we need to find some constructive criticisms that would help the government. Shout out to I can't remember his party, but this particular man that was a Lagos State governorship candidate,
Mr. Doherty.
Yes, he's doing fantastic, and I'm like, this. You see the kind of things that he does. He comes out with a lot of constructive criticism, and the fact that now the Lagos State government is engaging him a lot more. I think those are the kind of things, because at the end of the day, we all just need, as long as it works.
Yeah, so again, that's why we say you draw the line between governance and politics. Again, a lot of awareness needs to be created. The 8,000 naira is actually meant to be shared the way the government has announced it. As much as a lot of us feel that they could have spent the money in a different way, this particular 8,000 naira per month for about 12 million households, not individuals, households, is meant to be shared this way. It's also going to be monitored by the people that gave them the money.
Give them the money anyway. Yeah, so I think it makes sense. Quickly before we go, wanted to just talk about it. The courts yesterday, after we left, that the court had ordered the DSS to either charge the suspended CBN governor Emefiele to court or release him. The DSS had definitely done that yesterday, and they had charged him to court that same yesterday. But now, coming from that, today, Abuja High Court has now nullified the arrest and detention of the same Godwin Emefiele, asking the DSS to release him with immediate effect.
Congratulations to that court. You will be countered.
Because I'm wondering, like, what's going to happen? Are there going to be a release?
You will be countered. That man is not going anywhere until he has his day in court. He's entitled to his day in court. Yeah,
definitely.
He's not going anywhere. Immediate effect. Effect immediately.
Okay, the court has also dismissed EFCC's case against former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha. Okay, the tribunal has also dismissed APM's petition against the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde. I'm talking about court judges. The Chief Justice of Ekiti State is said to have been hospitalised after his office collapsed. According to an information that I got, the whole courthouse was under renovation.
So what was he doing there?
In itself. So my question was, what was he doing there? People were still working there anyway, but he said that he was obviously in his office, and it's pretty serious. But
I hope that he's not injured, to the point where he can't carry on.
My question also is that if a renovation was going on and that happened, maybe the building itself is faulty. Maybe it's time to actually
I was going to come to that. But first thing was just hoping, as a human being, that he's fine and that it doesn't, mess up his career and everything. However, they obviously need to look at the integrity of the entire structure itself. Was it not the same state that they had a snake fall down from the ceiling one time that they had from one of these buildings? You guys are not doing well in the area of maintenance. So I think it's not an Ekiti State thing. I think it's a Nigerian thing. It's a Nigerian I think it's a Nigerian thing. We're not good with maintenance of a lot of things. But we will see how that goes. And on that note, that is all we're able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow on Monday at 3 p.m. West African time to give you a wonderful edition of The Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead.